wasn't surprised at all.
No.
I mean, it seems completely makes sense, but that's exactly what I expected.
Yeah, it seemed like just a matter of time for him.
There's no way you can look like that in your 40s. I mean, he's preposterously jacked.
Black belt in jiu-jitsu. Again, buddy, this is how you know he's not thinking clear. You can't fight. I know you think you're tough, but there's levels to that, and he might be a tough guy. And there's a lot of tough guys, and I know he walks barefoot and takes hits laying down and does enemas, and he's tough in his world. There's levels to toughness, dude.
Joe Rogan has finally spoken out about the drama surrounding Liver King, real name Brian Johnson. He didn't hold back. He made it clear if this continues, someone is going to jail. Brian Johnson was arrested in Texas and later released on just a $20 bond. His charge? Making a terroristic threat against none other than Joe Rogan himself. This came after Rogan told investigators that Johnson's online behavior made him feel genuinely threatened. The most troubling part? Johnson wasn't just talking. He was challenging Rogan to a physical fight, using aggressive and hostile language that raised serious concerns. When Johnson was arrested, he was staying at the fancy Four Seasons Hotel in Austin. It wasn't a random pickup. Authorities had been watching closely.
Yeah. And these items are for you.
I wouldn't take that word, anything and everything. Because Joe Rogan, we don't have to make videos to pretend anymore. All of this is happening. We're coming to you. I've challenged you man to man to a fight.
After his release, Johnson was hit with a restraining order. He's now required to stay at least 200 yards away from Rogan and his family. The court also told him to get a mental health evaluation within the week. That shows just how seriously they're taking his behavior. But instead of calming down, Johnson jumped straight back on Instagram, where he has 3 million followers. He went right back to his usual antics, this time doubling down on his threats to Rogan. He even said, "We came here to pick a fight and we're going to do it." He directly challenged Rogan again. "I would love to man-to-man challenge you to a fight. No one's going to die, but I hope we'll both get hurt." This wasn't just talk anymore, it felt like something bigger was brewing.
Coming to Joe Rogan's town, Austin. I was here before you, Joe Rogan. It's Texas, that's my home. This week you probably might need to worry about me. Probably need to worry about Joe Rogan more. You've never come across something like this. Willing to die, hoping that you'll choke me out all week, Joe Rogan. So when I'm like, hey, anybody know my name? Liver King. Who am I fighting? Joe Rogan.
Then things took a strange turn. Johnson posted that the Wi-Fi password at his hotel was feud Joe Rogan. Was this a joke or another jab? People weren't sure what to think anymore. He even joked that maybe he was mad at Seth Rogen instead, an obvious deflection that no one bought. All the while, he's in the hotel with an ankle monitor on, crawling down the hallway on all fours like an animal. This wasn't normal behavior, it was bizarre and honestly disturbing. Even weirder, Rogan had never even spoken to Johnson directly. According to police records, they'd never had any kind of personal interaction.
You get stoked when Joe Rogan goes on the carnivore diets.
I've heard about it, and anybody who's talking about this, I love it. You're helping me do my job. This is my purpose in life. And as much as it is what we eat, it's also what we don't eat. So to answer your question, I love it when people are talking about eating carnivorously. I think Joe Rogan shows that he has a transformation when he does it. I don't know why he does it long.
Rogan later explained that his only connection to Johnson was through public commentary. On his podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, he had made fun of Johnson's use of steroids and his so-called ancestral lifestyle, eating raw meat, avoiding modern tech, and claiming to live like a caveman. Those jabs seemed to have lit a fire under Johnson. That's when things started spiraling, public threats, emotional outbursts, and eventually a very real arrest. In a video recorded after his arrest, Johnson claimed he came to Austin for one word: family. He said Rogan had bullied him and didn't realize how deeply his words could hurt someone. Johnson accused Rogan of spreading lies and encouraging others to gang up on him. He was probably referring to the Netflix documentary Untold, The Liver King, which laid out Johnson's steroid use and the shady parts of his business.
Because I fucked up. Because I'm embarrassed and ashamed. Because I lied. And I misled a lot of people. I've stated that this is a complicated as fuck topic, at least to me it is, because before social media, I was rich and anonymous, and after social media, I'm still rich, but no longer anonymous, and I never expected this kind of exposure in the public eye. It's been
TMZ later got access to court documents. They revealed that Rogan was honestly confused. He couldn't understand why Johnson had targeted him so specifically. He told authorities that the whole situation didn't make sense and that he was seriously concerned for Johnson's mental health. Even though they'd never met, Rogan took the threat seriously, and he wasn't wrong to do so. In one of the videos Johnson posted after getting out of jail, he said, "Man to man, I'm picking a fight with you." He admitted that Rogan would likely win because of his martial arts skills. Rogan's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and Johnson knew it. Still, he didn't back down. He said he wanted the fight anyway, even though there were legal restrictions in place.
It's natural, but this guy literally right to my face would say, like, blatantly, I am natural.
There's some people that are really jacked that are natural.
For sure.
I fucked up.
I don't know if you guys are able
I
to
just
watch.
wanna
That's what I was leaning to, is just like, I feel like his overall body composition is pretty consistently represented. I don't think it's implants, so well, granted, then it's like, well, if it's unnoticeable, would you even...
You only see the stuff that's not good. You do steroids.
Then came the viral clip. Johnson appears on camera holding gold-painted guns and wearing a wolf pelt hat. His eyes locked on the camera, he delivered another challenge. "Your rules, I'll come to you whenever you're ready," he said. It looked like a movie scene, but it was real. Not long after, he was arrested at the Four Seasons Hotel. The video shows police walking him to the car, looking completely unfazed while Johnson tried to stay in character. He was charged with making a terroristic threat, meaning he caused real fear of bodily harm. His mugshot showed a wild-haired, bearded Johnson staring straight ahead. The investigation is still ongoing. Police are now digging deeper into all his past videos to see how serious this pattern really is.
Like, to wake up from that dream, that's a good feeling. And then anything else that you could break on me, break it on me. I hope that you won't feel me tap. That's never happening, tapping, because I have something actually to fight for. Actually, that's my family.
I know this is sort of like, what the fuck is going on there? And some of these clips might be a little bit humorous, but this is also not great. Like, you look at the comment section and everyone is genuinely like, oh my god, he's lost his mind. People are asking.
Johnson, for his part, has never tried to seem normal. He calls himself a barbarian and made his name promoting a lifestyle based on raw meat, organs, and extreme health routines. His catchphrase, "Why would I have vegetables when I can eat testicles?" His followers ate it up, literally and figuratively. But when it was revealed that Johnson had been using steroids all along, things went downhill fast. In 2022, he was hit with a $26 million lawsuit after admitting he had lied about being all natural. This shook up the whole fitness community. Johnson had built his brand and sold millions in supplements on a lie.
What disappointment did you experience with the fans? What do you think they're thinking?
And they really know me. I mean,
Yeah.
I first thing I do, I get up, I make a good morning story. I mean, I'm filming stories all throughout the day, every single day, you know, to let people in.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know how really to answer this other than I let them all down, you know. I said that I didn't do this thing. I said that I didn't do steroids this whole time, you know, and I've been doing them. And so I think that when you're dishonest...
He even sat down for a deep interview with Piers Morgan where he admitted it all. "I feel like a total piece of crap. I know what I did was wrong," he said. "I feel like I've let an entire generation down." That moment was heavy. It was real. But just when people thought he might go quiet and change his ways, Johnson kept stirring the pot. Even after getting arrested, even with a court telling him to stay away from Rogan, and even with a mental health evaluation ahead, he kept making those wild videos. He just couldn't stop. It's like he was chasing controversy instead of peace. Nobody knows what this means for his future, legally or mentally.
Crazy videos, use Joe Rogan's name to get attention, and it's just one big publicity stunt. Clearly, there is no end game. There's nothing happening with Joe. It doesn't matter that he's still in Austin. It doesn't matter that he's out of jail. Nothing is going to happen. And I think it's clear he's just faking this whole thing. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like and subscribe for more.
Blue Scorpion. How do you get ready for a fight? How does Liver King get ready for a fight? Blue Scorpion. Dennis Raxus for this.
Rogan, meanwhile, has stayed pretty quiet outside of talking to the police. His original comments about Johnson weren't personal, they were mocking, sure, but not mean. He's always used his platform to call out people he thinks are misleading others about health, and Johnson fit the bill. Rogan believed that if you're telling millions of people to live a certain way while secretly doing something else, that's dangerous, especially when money's involved.
I still fucking when people do steroids in baseball, bro, because bottom line, you still gotta hit the fucking ball.
Yeah.
Like, that's just something. I guarantee you Merkin would say the same thing.
Yeah, why do people get, like, so, like, you seen the shit with, like, the Liver King and stuff, like, he came out and said he's not Eddie and all that shit. I don't really give a fuck.
I don't either.
I don't care.
See, I even think about it sometimes. Like, sometimes you get that thought, like, damn,
Well,
that's just
this is the
juice.
thing. This isn't even the first time Johnson tried to get Rogan's attention. According to Rogan, Johnson had been pushing for an invite to the Joe Rogan Experience for a long time. He was even front row at one of Rogan's shows in Las Vegas and showed up at a Canelo boxing match where Rogan was present. He contacted a few of my friends, Rogan said. He's trying really hard to get on the podcast, but Rogan was never interested, especially after the steroid scandal. To him, the guy was running a con, and the public was finally catching on.
Why do you not tell people about your steroid usage?
Because of what it implies. I think a better question really is, it's the same question, do you take things? My answer has been the same because I've always told the truth. And you can say or think whatever you want.
Of course.
But at the end of the day, this is what my message is really all about. Did you know 50 years ago, we had on average 50% higher testosterone? If you just think about that, we could probably go 50 to 100% higher just by doing the 9 ancestral tenets. Isn't that what most people do with steroids to increase their testosterone by 50 to 100%?
Brian Johnson's huge muscles, his shredded body, they were always part of the mystery. But the truth behind that physique? It didn't match the story he was telling the world. He claimed it all came from eating liver and following ancestral principles, but leaked emails exposed him, showing he spent over $10,000 a month on steroids and other substances. The lie wasn't small, it was the foundation of his empire.
There's a gray line between who you are and what the lie is. So what I'm seeing here is that the guy's realizing, like, shit, now, you know, I fucked up. I know that it was wrong, but then I was justifying it because I'm not an athlete. I'm justifying because, you know, even though people ask me, did you take this? You said no. It was a plain lie. But in his mind, he was lying for a reason. And those are the things that we have to be careful on. When we are telling a lie, and what we know is a lie, but we're justifying it, thinking that it's a greater good.
When the truth came out, Rogan didn't hold back. On his podcast, he said Johnson had been running a con game. He believed Johnson wasn't just looking for a chance to explain himself, he was trying to save his image and control the story. That's when Rogan refused to give him a platform.
What do you think about the Liver King shit, bro?
Man, I mean, did you see the apology thing?
I did a bit, yeah. But didn't like everyone knows he's on steroids.
Well, the thing, everyone knows, right? But like, it's different because he's out there saying, "I'm not on steroids. I'm not on steroids. It's the tenets. It's these things," and it's like, fuck. Everyone knows in the community, but like the majority of the public likely.
So you knew, like,
bro. I mean, it's like, come on. All the other.
Rogan also shared that he had seen Johnson in person a few times, once at a Vegas show and another time at a Canelo Alvarez boxing match. Johnson had reached out to Rogan's friends too, trying every angle to get on the show, but Rogan stood his ground. He questioned what Johnson could possibly say at this point. The damage was done.
I cannot even believe that this is real, but it is real. The Liver King was arrested.
All right, I've got a breaking exclusive for you that I got from our sources. The Austin Police Department, as we speak, is on their way to a hotel in downtown Austin to arrest the...
After the scandal, Johnson did a media apology tour. He went on with Piers Morgan, admitted to lying, and told people he was sorry. But it didn't seem like he was truly ready to change. He kept leaning into his Liver King identity. The social media posts got even wilder, more aggressive, more theatrical. Eventually, it spiraled into those unhinged videos targeting Rogan, and that's what finally led to his arrest.
Liver King, because he's been making a lot of bizarre, cryptic threats to Joe Rogan, and that he's going to come to town and fight him, and now he's there and has posted videos that are very, very direct threats. And so I am told that he's going to be arrested for terroristic threats, and that just shows how crazy society's going. In the videos, he looks extremely deranged with dilated pupils, and so we hope the Liver King gets better.
In some of the videos, he didn't say Rogan's name directly. Instead, he joked about Seth Rogen or used rhymes, but the meaning was clear. He was talking about Joe Rogan and even referred to Rogan's Austin-based comedy club, the Comedy Mothership.
We got to talk about Liver King. Do you know that our podcast was the first public forum where he was asked about doing steroids and then he got exposed for being on a load of shit?
If you ask me, yo, how would you describe Liver King in person? He is a sweet man.
But so smelly.
Like, if you were to die in Coney Island and your body wasn't discovered for like 13 to 17 days, that would be the smell that is secreted from his armpit.
One video showed Johnson ranting about a mysterious box. He claimed law enforcement thought it was a bomb, but said it was actually a present for Rogan and his team at the comedy club. People watching were confused. Was it a joke? A threat? A cry for attention? His messages were scattered and unsettling.
The Liver King thing drives me nuts because that guy's on steroids. Well, just shut the fuck up.
Well, so
I know he's eating really healthy. It's clear he's eating all these animal foods, and he's eating organ meat, which is very rich in nutrients. All that's true, but he's dodging the main bullet.
Well, it's too late for him now because he said no.
Yeah.
So if he is even on TRT, he should come out and just say it.
Well, look at him.
Because, yeah, I mean.
Just, do you know how rare it is to have a physique like that and not be on steroids?
Johnson later admitted he was wearing an ankle monitor and under strict court orders, no getting close to Rogan, no stepping outside after 9 p.m., and mandatory psychiatric evaluations. Still, he didn't stop posting. In fact, he claimed the videos would continue and hinted at more fights, more venom, and something called reconciliation. He said, at some point you have to capitulate something. Real tension, real fight. Whatever he meant, it was clear he wasn't ready to walk away.
There's bad people in every walk of life, and Liver King is a bad person. So you have to just, honestly, you have to find people that speak to things that make sense. You have to do your own research, and then you kind of have to, kind of figure out who to believe, who to trust, and kind of go with that. Does that make sense? Like you have to do your own research and control.
The Austin police confirmed that Johnson had been traveling toward Austin while posting disturbing content. That's when they reached out to Rogan directly, and Rogan confirmed that although he'd never met Johnson, he felt threatened. That was enough to issue a warrant and charge Johnson with a terroristic threat, a serious accusation under Texas law. Videos showed Johnson saying things like, "I'm picking a fight with you," and "Shame on you, I'm going to make you pay, I'm going to fight and I'm not going to stop." The timing, the threats, the obsession, it all painted a dangerous picture.
You're shredded. All you got to do is go get implants.
Are you
Should I do that? So they're like $10K each.
No, you're not
I'm
doing
rocking
implants.
$100 fucking K worth of.
Those are implants?
Dude, you think somebody to get a feel on that, and they don't move. They don't fucking move.
All of this can be traced back to Rogan calling out the Liver King's false image. Rogan had criticized the idea that Johnson's transformation was all due to eating liver and avoiding modern food. He said Johnson lied and made millions off it, and that people deserve the truth, especially when health is involved.
The events did he try and kind of like cozy up?
He was front row at one of my shows in Vegas.
Oh, damn.
At the MGM. And then I saw him again at the Canelo fight. He was trying really hard to get on the podcast. And he's been trying really hard to get on now. He contacted a few friends of mine.
Yeah, he told me he's trying to get on.
Yeah, for what? For what? Say that more? Like, come on, this is dumb, man. This is a fucking, you ran a con game and you got busted.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that you feel terrible. I'm sorry.
And when Johnson finally admitted he was on performance-enhancing drugs, Rogan wasn't surprised. The leaked emails confirmed everything. "You ran a con game and you got busted," Rogan said. Johnson had tried again and again to get on the podcast to spin the story his way, but Rogan refused. He believed actions had consequences, and lies that reach millions shouldn't be ignored. And now, this situation has gone from a health scandal to something much darker: restraining orders, legal trouble, and a man still shouting into the void, hoping someone will fight him. What started as internet beef turned into something the courts had to step in and stop. Let us know your thoughts below, and stay tuned for more updates. Stay tuned for more updates.